Told you so. We told you. President Trump, Scott Bessent, and Elon Musk, the dream team, are making it happen. Guys, show some love in the chat because we have officially confirmed. We told you it was going to happen, but it's been confirmed by our president, guys, that tariff rebate checks are coming to Americans. We told you about the DOGE checks coming, but now Trump has confirmed it. Tariff revenue rebate checks. And this is amazing news for everybody because, again, President Trump is now stating that due to the massive amount of money coming in thanks to tariffs on other countries, he plans to give it back to the United States citizens in the form of rebate stimulus checks, guys. Put some love in the chat. If you love this, if you support MAGA, if you support Trump, put Trump winning, guys, in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Trump winning. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the Democrats wanted to stop. This is what they were afraid of, that more money would be going back to Americans. They would feel it and that we would continue winning. It's showing in the polls, guys. People are trusting in Trump's tariffs more than ever. Everybody said it wouldn't work. Everybody said, no, we're going to go into recession. No country is going to want to deal with this. Well, guess what? We've got China. We've got Japan. The EU is next. All these big countries pouring money into our country. And on top of that, we now have these new tariff rebate checks coming to Americans, guys. Show some love in the chat. If you appreciate it, hit that thumbs up like button because, guys, this is going to change everything. More money is not only coming back from the tariff rebate checks that were just confirmed this morning by President Trump himself, but more money is coming back via the pulling back of money on sanctuary cities. Because guess what? Trump said that we are suing them for the money that they gave to illegal immigrants that should have went to American people, and they deserve their money back. The Justice Department has officially sued New York City along with California and their mayors for allegedly the sanctuary city policies using taxpayer funds at the federal level, which is unconstitutional and actively interfering with federal immigration enforcement. Is this not America First policies, guys? This is winning at the highest level, guys. Money coming back to us. We, the people. If you're not going to spend our money wisely, then give it back to us because we want to spend it ourselves. That is what I'm talking about. And it gets even better, guys. It's always the 1-2 punch. Trump is knocking it out of the park right now because guess what? Trump's dream team is working on the second big beautiful bill, and yes, it's going to be massive, and yes, it's got massive America First policies, especially for our seniors, babies, because I'm telling you, Trump is trying to win over that demographic for the midterms. He barely lost it by a little bit, but every single time, guys, there's no tax on Social Security for like 80 to 90% of all Social Security recipients. Trump is making sure to put every single important demographic in America first, guys. And this is what I love. It's all actually happening, guys. Confirmed by Trump himself this morning on the news. It's blowing up X. It's blowing up the news. These tariff rebate checks because he said we got so much money coming in from other countries. Guys, this is what we voted for. Promises made, promises kept. And I just want to update you too, guys, because I'm telling you, the justice is coming too as well. Attorney General Pam Bondi just announced the formation of the DOJ strike force to pursue the criminal referrals of Obama and his associates made by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Bondi has promised that the new strike force within the DOJ will deliver justice for the American people. Guys, this is what we voted for. Show some love in the chat. If you believe it, put in there Trump winning because they wanted him to lose so bad. And I'm going to show you next. Guys, it's just insane. The amount of breaking news that we're getting. And what I love is it's breaking news for American people. People are going to feel this, guys. I love it. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers, all of our viewers. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, though, please consider joining our family. hitting that subscribe button so that we can take care of you every day with the top news. I want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel, those that give a super chat donation. Remember, on the 22nd of every single month, this guy right here is donating live on stream to a local charity. And guys, we are changing lives with your support. Want to give some special love to Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel, John Reppy, Deanna Rankin. Show them some love in the chat, guys. We got a big show today. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, I'm telling you guys, this is massive. Tariff rebate checks. Trump said so much money has come in. So much, it's just, and it's blowing up everywhere, guys. Look at this. You know it's getting big when even the Axios is reporting the Trump tariff rebate checks, guys. This is big, just updated. Look at this, guys, updated 1 hour ago. This is massive. Things are changing. Trump's putting America first. And all the while, guys, I have to show you this because this is what matters most, is Democrats are trying to do and say everything to discredit him. Listen to this.
Imagine what life is like for them today. Everything you thought to be true was washed away in November. You were wrong. He's president again. Think about how challenging that must be for many. And now Democrats will say and do anything to try and beat him.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there is unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Wow.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
All of that has an impact. When you look at the chaos happening across the country right now, it's all on the left. It started with BLM and then free Palestine to illegal alien riots in Los Angeles, people waving the Mexican flag. The left has already declared war on America and Donald Trump, but not a traditional war. It's a hybrid war being run by the worst people in our society, many of them not even citizens. We say that because it's the truth. And for millions of Americans, Donald Trump is leading a movement to destroy the establishment, dismantle the deep state. And because of that, a lie was created. And now 10 years later, we are finally hearing the other side of that story.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th...
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements...
Guys, just think about it like this. They're trying to say and do everything to discredit Trump. They're coming out now with even more on... one moment, guys. I'm having some issues with the camera. One moment. Sorry about that. Let's see. One moment, guys. I apologize so much for that. Let me fix this right here. Let's see. Sorry, guys, having some technical difficulties, but I want to show you, you can hear my voice. It's still on the screen. President Trump, while this is loading back again, President Trump is now stating that due to massive amount of money coming in thanks to tariff on countries, that he plans to give back to United States citizens in the form of tariff rebate checks, guys. Is this not beautiful? Is this not what we voted for, guys? This is so massive, so big. This is what we voted for. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Fred Samuel, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much, Barry Myers, for the super chat. Let's go. Guys, sorry about the technical difficulties, but this is massive. When you have all this coming out, Trump is trying to do what? Put America first. They have all this stuff. CNN continues to want to lie, to want to try to push all this other propaganda, while Trump is coming out and saying what? Oh yeah, we've got tariff rebate checks that are coming back to American United States citizens, guys. Show some love in the chat. If you support this, put Trump winning in the chat, guys, because this is winning for America.
This is all a very sensitive subject, as you can imagine, for the legacy media, especially at CNN, because they owned the story like the Washington Post owned Watergate in the 70s. CNN owned Russiagate. No one pushed the fake story more than CNN. No one pushed the fake story that Russia wanted Donald Trump to win the 2016 election more than CNN. But it might have been the other way around from the start. Tulsi Gabbard detailing Russian intelligence on Hillary Clinton that they deliberately did not release before the election because they did not want to damage the relationship with a woman that they, Russia, thought was going to win.
The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department.
Wow.
So now it all makes sense. Once again, Democrats are guilty of what they accuse everyone else of doing. So what happens next? What happens now with this story? Well, CNN needs to pivot. They've already started. They know they need to follow this story because this story is coming from the White House, but they still have to lie about it. So now they are trying to discredit Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat.
Who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the director of national intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard.
That is CNN.
I love it, guys. I love it because all the news is just popping out right now, guys. I got to show you it again. This is from the leading report. We're showing it, guys. We're showing it from Axios, Trump tariff rebate checks. We're showing it from leading report. Corroborating, President Trump says rebate checks coming to lower income Americans because so much tariff revenue is coming in, baby. Guys, this is what we voted for. Guys, I get so excited when I get to show you news like this because this is 100% putting America first. Look at this stuff. President Trump says rebate checks coming to lower income Americans because so much tariff revenue is coming in. Fred Samuel, thank you so much for the super chat. Said Obama may be protected by immunity, but no one else is in trials to take time to do it right and actually to see people held accountable. 100%. Barry Myers, thank you so much. Said stimulus. Let's go, Joel. Let's go, MAGA baby. Show them some love in the chat, as well as Allison Van Harken. Welcome to the family. Guys, this is big. It's bold. It's beautiful. This right here, everybody's reporting on it. I'm showing you all the news across the board. Trump is coming out, putting America first. The left can't get past the old news, trying to throw all this fake news on Trump. And guess what? It ain't working anymore. People are believing more than ever, guys, the positivity that's coming out over what this has done. This is huge. I want to show you this because, again, this is what matters. Everybody said that what Trump was doing when it came to the tariff was not going to work. Everybody said, nope, we're going to go into recession. This is not going to work. Well, guess what? What you're about to see here in a new Wall Street Journal poll shows a huge increase in how positive American voters rate the strength of the economy. Specifically, a 23-point increase in just the past few months. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm in favor of tariffs and tariff revenue whenever it gives Americans back their hard-earned money. Listen to this.
Journal, percentage of voters who rate the economy as positive, holding steady at 47%, or is that an increase? It looks like it's actually up on that graph, Cheryl.
Well, 47% is they say it's excellent or good. That's how they rate the economy. This is the most positive rating that the Journal has ever seen in these surveys going back to 2021. So even if voters in the Journal survey said they weren't crazy about the big, beautiful bill, they're not loving the tariffs, fair enough. When it comes to the economy and how they rate Donald Trump, they say the President of the United States is doing a very good job. And if you talk to Americans out there, they're not talking about tariff rates. They're not talking about inflation. They're saying,
nope.
You know what? I'm feeling pretty good right now. Prices aren't bad. And I'm sorry, but the April freakout that the markets had over the tariffs, Besson said at the time, the Treasury Secretary, you're not going to see this burst of inflation, even though...
This is one of the most beautiful screens we could ever show you right now. The average price for gas is 10% decrease from the same time in 2024. Retail sales have seen increases. $2 trillion in newly invested money into the United States. $27 billion in custom duties in June. $113 billion in revenues for fiscal year 2025 already. Guys, tell me if we're not winning. Tell me this is not Trump winning. This is what we voted for. Imagine such a proactive president. Such a proactive, on top of it, making everybody in the world know that America is the best compared to the president we had previously. Guys, it's not even a comparison. And what I love is that, again, too, everybody's trying to say what? The opposite right now. They're trying to get mad. They're trying to say that, you know what? Trump was wrong. They're trying to keep the news on the Russia collusion hoax. And guess what? I love it that our boy, Greg Gutfeld, lays it out that every single scandal that comes through, we aren't believing it anymore. Listen to this, guys.
Hillary, and they get activated, and suddenly they won't be mad at Trump anymore for not releasing the Epstein files or whatever he had to do with any of it. It's preposterous that we were talking about Hillary Clinton's emails again in year 2025.
We spent years on this story. No, let me. We had to take this story seriously for years, and it was false.
It wasn't false.
No. For people to understand what happened, all right? Because
did you just hear her say that the Russian hoax wasn't false? I'm telling you guys, nobody's believing anything anymore from the Democrats.
This story is that nobody knows what you're talking about. When Trump won in 2016, the intel community concluded that Russia didn't have a hand in his victory. Instead of accepting the inclusion, Obama determined and wanted a new conclusion. So he sent Brennan running to come up with a new collusion, that there was some kind of trivial involvement that then they could feed out to the media. And coincidentally, dozens of news organizations said that Trump was in bed with Putin and that somehow Brennan knew. Brennan knew. How did he know? There was no proof. There was no proof. There was no proof.
Why did Durham do nothing then?
But no, let me finish. They amplified a false conclusion that Trump colluded with Russia in 2016. We had to spend years dealing with that. And now we're actually getting investigation, and you're saying, no, you know what? You guys should just move on. You guys should just move. You're saying the same effing thing about Biden's brain. You guys spent 4 years telling us that Joe Biden was fine. You covered up for an invalid. And then when we get the truth, it's like, oh, you know what? It's time. We got to look forward. We got to start talking about what's there. And you can bring up Epstein all you want. We, unlike Democrats, we can handle 2 things, 3 things, 4 things at once.
Doesn't seem like it.
No. Have you been listening to the right lately? The right is more on top of Epstein than the Democrats are. The Democrats never cared about Epstein until they saw a political motivation. The right was into the Epstein story because women were being sex trafficked. We actually cared. But now you're like, ooh, Epstein, a political angle. Ooh, this is fantastic. Save me your selective outrage.
Guys, I'm telling you guys, everybody's fed up with it. Nobody's believing it, guys. I want you to hear from the man himself over what's going on over the Trump tariff rebate checks, guys. This is big, big stuff. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this is massive, massive winning for Americans. Denise Clark Custom Art, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said it's great to see things happening finally. Now let's see some arrest with jail time. I'm for it. Show Denise Clark some love in the chat, guys, because this is beautiful. I want you to hear from the man himself over the rebate checks, what's coming, because it's so much money, guys. This is winning for America.
Do you think there's the possibility of a rebate to the American public in terms of all of that money?
We're thinking about that, actually. We have so much money coming in. We're thinking about a little rebate, but the big thing we want to do is pay down debt. But we're thinking about a rebate. That's a very good question. You just made a lot of news. We're thinking about a rebate because we have so much money coming in from tariffs that a little rebate for people of a certain income level might be very nice.
Let's go, baby. I love it, guys, because, again, nobody's announced it, but somehow this guy just randomly asked the question, and now, guess what? He said, yep, we're already talking about it. We're already working on something for people that of a certain income. We'll take care of them, guys. This is what we voted for. It's so beautiful. It's so massive. And what I love, too, guys, is that, again, we're constantly seeing that Trump is doing what? Putting America first. In everything that's happening, staying on top of everything that's coming in, that we are not going to give up on finding justice. We're not going to give up on making sure that people are held accountable. Guys, look at this. This is massive. DOJ announced formation of strike force to pursue treason charges against the soft coup plotters. We're talking about all of Obama and Biden regimes. They're literally, Pam Bondi is creating a specific task force to hold these people accountable. Denise Clark, this is what we voted for. April Green, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, I love how Trump is so upfront with us. He's for the American people. Team MAGA, God bless all of us and our families. Guys, show April Green some love in the chat. Guys, this is promises made, promises kept, and it gets even deeper because all the inside stuff that we're hearing, check it out, guys. This is beautiful.
Why we have to stick the landing on this. The accusations have been made from the Oval Office. The President of the United States has called out Obama, his predecessor, as guilty of treason. Doesn't come any higher than that. Also, the people running, very high officials in the government, and not just the government. This is not the Department of Labor, or Health and Human Services, or Education. As important as those are, these are the departments and bureaus that are associated with the national security of the United States and state secrets. And you see the abuse of it. Tulsi Gabbard's then come out and she said, "Hey, I've turned these over to kind of criminal complaints to the Justice Department. They've got to act." The Justice Department, the FBI, and this is what we heard last night. John Solomon walked us through what the process would be to pull together a task force.
Yep.
That had the best of the best, and they would quickly go through this. And of course, last night, John Solomon said it might take a week or two to do that. And voila, what happened is this took, in fact, last night they called it from justice. So this is happening right now. But it has to move with alacrity, has to move with speed. DOJ understands that. And Epstein, the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, who obviously is now running the deal over there on this case, went to Tallahassee, Florida, and we just heard a report, 5-hour interview. Sounded like it wasn't under oath, but a 5-hour interview with Maxwell, where supposedly, according to our attorney, answered all questions in 5 hours. This, you should know, is the first time that prosecutors actually discussed anything with her, because she was indicted and then had defense attorneys and, went to court and lost. Is now serving, I think, 20 years in a low-security prison in Tallahassee, Florida. As of right now, the House is going to, I think, either interview or depose her in Tallahassee. It's not going to be on TV. It won't be in the House because they're all gone. But the staffs are around, and I'm sure some of the actual congressmen themselves will be involved in this, to actually go and give a deposition, I think it is, even more than an interview, a deposition on, and this is House oversight. I don't think it's judiciary. I think it's oversight on the 11th of August. In fact, if we can play, there's some controversy about all this. If we can play, I think we have Speaker Johnson. Is that clip ready to go?
Guys, I want to show you real quick because we show you everything on here, guys. all the news. So Ghislaine Maxwell actually sat down with one of Trump's teams to answer questions about all the Epstein stuff and all that from the DOJ. Well, guess what? She answered everything. Did not plead the fifth. Did not try to subvert any questions. Her attorney says that she answered all the questions truthfully. Who knows? But guess what? She answered all of them and did not plead the fifth. Guys, this is big, big stuff. And when you tackle that and you tie that with the DOJ announced the formation of strike force to pursue treason charges against the whole Obama, Biden, I mean, like every single thing that we want to see justice coming to, it's coming, baby. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And again, for those that are just joining us, I want to show you guys again, this is big, big stuff. The Trump tariff rebate checks. It's being reported by everybody right now, guys. This is big, big stuff. Trump said we've got so much money coming into the United States. We want to give some of this back to the people who deserve it the most. Look at this. This is even from the leading report. President Trump says rebate checks coming to lower income Americans because so much tariff revenue is coming in. Guys, this is big breaking news today. Winning for America. You believe it, you support it. Put Trump winning in the chat, in the comments.
Okay, not so much. We got Speaker John. Okay, let's go ahead and play Denver. Thank you. You guys are in crack shape today. Let's go ahead and play. We have Speaker Johnson with Major Garrett on Major Garrett's, I think, his podcast. Let's go ahead and hear it.
And to the point when the Trump Justice Department said there were more than 1,000 victims, for people who knew this case very, very well, did a lot of investigative work on it, that number surprised them. High number.
Yeah.
Meaning that to their minds, investigative reporters and others, there have to be accomplices, uncharged accomplices, and that aspect of justice is still missing.
Yes, and it's of great concern to us. I mean, we want full transparency. We want everybody who was involved in any way with the Epstein evils, let's call it what it was, to be brought to justice as quickly as possible. We want the full weight of the law on their heads.
But when the Justice Department said in that same two-page memo, there's no reason to pursue further prosecutions, many said, how can those two things be properly aligned?
These are good questions. I don't know. I've never seen the Epstein evidence. It wasn't in my lane. But I have the same concern and question that a lot of people do. And look, I think the president
This is not a hoax, in other words.
Oh, it's not a hoax. Of course not.
I tell you what, if Denver, let's play that one again. This is Major Garrett with Speaker Johnson. Speaker Johnson said, hey, this is not my lane. Major Garrett, I think, is asking a very sharply defined question. If we can play that again, I want the audience to see it and hear it one more time.
And to the point when the Trump Justice Department said there were more than 1,000 victims, for people who knew this case.
All right, guys, right there, I told you there was more than 1,000 victims on all this stuff. People are like, where's the evidence? Where'd you hear it from? The DOJ said it, and you just heard it from this person. The DOJ said there was over 1,000 victims, okay? So again, guys, I told you, I bring you the receipts. I show you what's going on. We make sure that you know the truth, guys. That's why we're called TrueLife News. We want to bring you the truth always. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, appreciate your support.
He's very, very well, did a lot of investigative work on it. That number surprised them. High number.
Yeah.
Meaning that to their minds, investigative reporters and others, there have to be accomplices, uncharged accomplices, and that aspect of justice is still missing.
Yes, and it's of great concern to us. I mean, we want full transparency. We want everybody who was involved in any way with the Epstein evils, let's call it what it was, to be brought to justice as quickly as possible. We want the full weight of the law on their heads.
But when the Justice Department said in that same two-page memo, there's no reason to pursue further prosecutions, many said, how can those two things be properly aligned?
These are good questions. I don't know. I've never seen the Epstein evidence. It wasn't in my lane. But I have the same concern and question that a lot of people do. And look, I think the president
This is not a hoax, in other words.
Oh, it's not a hoax. Of course not.
There you see the House. They talk about, the House skipped town because they want to deal with this. Johnson looks like he's trying to deal with it. I believe my scheduling is correct on the 11th of August, and I think that's pretty quick to go down and to get your act together and go down and to actually interview somebody. Now, that may be overruled by the Justice Department, whatever happened in this meeting today. Her lawyer was there. The Deputy Attorney General runs what they call runs the building. You know, the Attorney General gives advice to the President, oversees everything, is ultimately responsible, does obviously a lot of TV to put the messaging out of what they're trying to accomplish, flies around the country and talks to local groups, particularly local U.S. attorneys, all of it. But the DAG, the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, runs the building. So all of Main Justice and then even all the U.S. attorneys kind of come up through that. It's a massive job. Todd Blanche has the confidence in President Trump. Emil Bove will be confirmed next Tuesday or Wednesday as an appellate court judge. And it's hugely controversial. We've been following it. It's a complete and total firestorm. His wingman for President Trump for all those years of darkness when we had to chop our way through the jungle, Todd Blanche is now Deputy Attorney General. His deputy was Emil, who's now gone and been promoted to the judgeship. Some people are saying on the fast track to be a Supreme Court justice if a vacancy does arrive. And he has the confidence of the president. Remember, he was actually the acting Attorney General in the first month or so of the administration when Homan was doing all those raids. And he was right there with Homan, remember, in Chicago, in Detroit, in Chicago, New York particularly, I think those two. I'm not sure Detroit, but definitely in Chicago and in New York City. So the president's someone the president has tremendous confidence in, and you can tell has taken active control of this, has gone down and had an interview, 5 hours, her attorney says, Washington Post reports in a quote, 5 hours, answered all questions truthfully to the best of her ability. And then Todd Blanche is on his way back.
Guys, so much winning, guys. I just love it. I'm telling you. I think about it, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Key GOP group starts working on second big, beautiful bill for Trump. Massive victory. I just showed you guys. Trump tariff rebate checks reported by Axios. Guys, you know that this is big news when Axios is reporting it like this. But it's just, all I can think about is if Kamala Harris would have won, we would know nothing. The country would be in a different state. We wouldn't have collected over $100 billion in tariff revenue, where they're talking about giving the tariff rebate checks, guys. Just think about it. They're talking and working on the second big, beautiful bill for Trump with massive, massive America First policies. And it doesn't stop right there. When the Democrats hired 80,000 new IRS workers to come after you, to make sure that you paid into the system and didn't cheat the government, yet we can't even have DOGE, who actually audits the federal government to make sure that they're spending our money wisely. The Democrats want to fight off of that. They should lose every election from here on out just because of that one policy. That one policy. They wanted to stay on us rather than focusing inward and making sure they were spending our money wisely. This is beautiful. What you're about to see next, guys, is just one more thing of how Trump is giving back to the American people, saving us almost $2 billion a year.
The IRS has cut its workforce by 25%, slashing nearly 26,000 employees since the Trump administration began downsizing the federal government. Grady Trimble joins us now from Capitol Hill with much more. Hey, Grady.
Hey, Dagan, get this. Even with that many fewer employees, the IRS is collecting hundreds of billions of dollars more in taxes this year compared to last. You mentioned that the IRS has cut around 26,000 jobs. That's just since February. And among the jobs that have been cut, 27% of the agency's tax examiners, those are the people who make sure individual filers and businesses comply with tax laws, and 26% of its revenue agents, the workers who perform audits. And yet, look at this number. Through June of this year, the government has collected $245 billion more than during the same time frame last year. IRS Commissioner Billy Long, just sworn in this week, by the way, says he wants to bring the agency into the 21st century, and an endeavor in which he has President Trump's full support going back to the early days of Trump's second term when Secretary Bessent was confirmed.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury wanted, Scott. And so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago.
So you remember that President Biden made big changes to the IRS. He tried to expand it through the so-called Inflation Reduction Act and through other actions. Now President Trump is doing a U-turn on that, and so far seems to be going according to plan, at least based on these numbers. Dagan?
Thank you so much, Grady. Great to see you. I love seeing...
I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of them, Dagan. I talked about their pause in my paycheck earlier. Yeah. I am sick of audits. I am sick of looking for the little details where you made a mistake so they can fine you or make you pay extra to your tax preparation person because, or have to send in extra money. Not everybody is defrauding the IRS. Mistakes and things do happen. And when you've got them breathing down your neck and taking advantage of small businesses in this country, for example, it's just wrong. It is wrong.
Yeah,
I just think what
So again, guys, we got the Democrats who were focused on what? They were focused on coming after you to make sure that you were paying your taxes. But we got Trump who says, President Trump is now stating that due to the massive amount of money coming in thanks to tariffs on other country, he plans to give it back to the United States citizens in the form of tariff rebate checks. What more do you want, guys? This is a smack in the face to who? To the Democrats. You kept trying to go after Americans to get more money. Trump came in and said, why don't we make everybody else in the world pay to play with the United States? And that's what's happening. And we're getting these new tariff rebate checks coming. Guys, this is what we voted for. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind, guys, showing some love with hitting the thumbs up like button. This is what we voted for. Trump is just, you can't ask for a more America first man that's president. That's what we voted for. Promises made, promises kept.
Difference just a few years can make. I mean, I remember that I call it the Inflation Production Act. So he launched the Inflation Production Act and then announced 87,000 IRS agents, and so created the IRS to be a job creator for the government
and to hunt people and to find their revenue
small businesses,
to get them off the back of the small business owner in this country.
And this is exactly why millions of Americans voted for President Trump.
Hey, Dagan, incoming will be a Gavin Newsom op-ed about how the state of California is hiring 50,000 new state tax collection agents to just counteract this. Because actually, California will follow you for years, even if you leave the state.
Yeah. This is how they should sell the big, beautiful bill, though. When you talk about, say, no tax on overtime, that is an above-the-line deduction, so it doesn't even add to your AGI. So you completely, other than Social Security and Medicare taxes, you completely keep all of that money out of the hands, up to a certain level, out of the hands of the federal government. It's just the concept of it.
But a serious point here, just quickly, is with technology, why do they make us still do it all? They have all the records. We send all the receipts in every month. As a business owner, we're constantly dealing with sending tax forms. They know what everybody made. They know everybody's tax. And then they send you all the information at the end of the year and say, figure it out yourself. And by the way, if you're wrong, we're going to fine you for it.
Well, it's like all government agencies. They're archaic, and President Trump made a point to it. It's like, why didn't Joe Biden modernize it? Instead, he hired 87,000 more people. But now we're going to modernize it and catch it up with the rest of the world.
But, okay, so let me just, because I hear that a lot, and I sort of agree in a sense. It's a stupid game of cat and mouse when they say, you figure it out, you send it, we'll tell you why you're wrong. And then, but do you like the idea of just the government telling you exactly what you owe them all the time? There's some element I want taxes to be simple enough that I can know with certainty what I owe, and I'll send it to them, and they're not going to do the calculation for me, right? That's why you need a big IRS when the tax code is a mess and nobody can figure it out. That's like the scheme they have going. make everything complex so you can't figure out, and then we've got you right where we
But Brian, if you're an employee in a company, they tell you exactly and they suck it out of your check every week, all year long.
Yeah, but they're a company. I can choose to work somewhere else. I'd have to leave the country to not have to deal with the IRS.
No, I get that. I just mean, like, when you say you want to choose, you do not choose. You pay all year. Most people are hoping to get a little money back, meaning they're actually overpaying and lending the government money to get it back.
That was the secret. I also don't love withholding, actually. I want to write checks for my taxes on a regular basis. Withholding was another good scheme by the government to make sure you have no idea how much you're paying in taxes. It's all, like, it's psychology. They knew the psychology before the marketers knew the psychology.
They're worried you're going to take that money and put it in Chipotle, and then you wouldn't have it to pay your taxes.
In that case, maybe I am better off. Point taken.
Guys, I'm telling you, if we're not getting justice for Americans, guys, if we're not putting Americans first with everything, look at this, guys. Is this not what we voted for? Trump administration plans to spend $1.26 billion on an immigrant detention center in Texas for 5,000 detainees and function as a central hub for deportation operations. Guys, this is what we voted for. This is what we wanted. And what I love, guys, is that right now the Senate is doing a lot more than the House is when it comes to actually still working. The House has gone and taken a vacation for whatever reason that Johnson thought that it would be good to take a recess instead of just continue to serving the American people. And I know it's like they're going back to their city and they're doing town halls and all that. Well, let me tell you this. They can go back to their cities and they can do town halls as much as they want, but nothing gets done unless it's done on Capitol Hill. We already know what needs to be done. There's a laundry list of things that need to be done. But I love it that we still got people fighting and going on Capitol Hill and explaining and pushing for the Social Security, the Medicare, the Medicaid, and now Trump's rebate tariff checks, guys. Beautiful stuff. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, listen to this.
I want to speak briefly about two subjects. They're different. They're both important, but they're different. Let me start with the reconciliation bill, which President Trump and others called the one big beautiful bill. I continue to go through the bill, and every time I do, I'm impressed. This is a breathtaking bill in the sense that it covers so many subjects. I think each of us could spend hours talking about this bill. I'll just hit the highlights. This is one of the most far-reaching pieces of legislation that this body will never pass. We extended the 2017 tax cuts, no small feat in itself. Had we not done that, the American people would have suffered under a $4.3 trillion tax increase. So we stopped that tax increase. And some of my friends and colleagues talk about, well, all you did was stop a tax increase on the billionaires. That is nonsense. That is nonsense on a stick. Unless your soup of the day is gin, you know that is a lie. Half of that tax increase would have hit working men and working women and working families in this country. The other half would have hit our small businesses and, yes, some of our large businesses. We stopped that. We made some of those tax cuts permanent. We cut taxes on tips. In this bill, we cut taxes on overtime. We cut taxes on Social Security. We cut taxes on car loans. We expanded a tax credit for child care to help moms and dads pay for the child care so they can work. We increased the child tax credit. We increased the standard deduction. And that's going to take effect immediately. We funded school choice. For years and years and years, I have tried, we all have tried, many of us have tried to provide the American people, moms and dads, with school choice. This bill did it. You know, I went to a public school. I'm proud of that. But competition makes all of us better.
100%.
I can go to my overpriced Capitol Hill apartment or Capitol Hill grocery store and choose from 6 or 7 types of mayonnaise. Why shouldn't we give parents, moms and dads, choices for their kids' education? We're doing that with the school choice portion of this bill. We increased money for the border. And we increased money for defense. Now we also addressed the problem in Medicaid, and I've been very disappointed because some commentators have said that we're going to throw off from the Medicaid rolls. I've read anywhere from 10 to 12 million people. And the implication in some of these articles and some of these comments is that we're just going to look at the Medicaid rolls and go through and say, you're gone. We can't afford you.
This is huge,
And
guys.
that's not what this bill does. The first thing you have to realize is that actually Medicaid's not going to be cut at all under this bill. Under our bill that we just passed, our spending on Medicaid over the next 10 years is going to go up 20%. So nobody's cutting Medicaid. There are some people, as a result of the new provisions that we have put into law, who will no longer be eligible for Medicaid and will no longer get Medicaid. But they weren't entitled to get it in the first place. So when you say, well, you're throwing people off of Medicaid, they weren't entitled to it in the first place. You're not entitled to Medicaid if you're making $200,000 a year. And you didn't tell the truth when you signed up for the Medicaid in your state, and your state didn't verify your statements. But let me give you one example. CMS just put out a report. Our bill is going to change the law so that 2.8 million Americans. This is the CBO says like we're throwing 10 or 12 million Americans off of Medicaid. I'll just give you this one example. 2.8 million of those Americans who will lose Medicaid are double dippers.
Ooh.
They signed up twice.
Do y'all hear this, guys? This is the stuff that you don't hear on mainstream media. This is why, guys, I'm telling you, we bring you everything. We show you exactly what's coming on. All the breaking news that's coming on today, guys. Let me tell you this. This leading from the leading report, President Trump says rebate checks coming to lower income Americans because so much tariff revenue is coming in. We're showing you from all the reports, guys, Trump tariff rebate checks. This is big, beautiful stuff, guys. This is putting America first, making sure that our money stays with us. And like I showed you, key GOP group is starting to work on the second big, beautiful bill for Trump. This is what I love. Thank you so much to everybody that's supporting us. Guys, if you haven't hit the thumbs up like button, if you don't mind doing that, this is what we're trying to show is America First policies means that Americans keep more of their hard-earned money. Make government smaller. Stop spending so much, wasting on all this stupid stuff that we found out through USAID. And now they're working on the second big, beautiful bill to do what? Clean up the federal government. Democrats don't want it. Common sense people do on both sides of the aisle. Let me know your thoughts because what you're about to hear next, guys, it's just even bigger. It's more of, dang it. The mainstream media will continue to lie to try to put out a narrative that what Trump is doing is trying to hurt the American people when everything that we're seeing is it's America First policies.
We have 1.2 million people on the Medicaid rolls who are signed up in 2 states. And the American taxpayers paying twice.
Ugh.
As you know, Mr. President, well, you were a great governor. You were a governor and a damn good one. Most states use managed care, and they pay per Medicaid patient. So if a state is paying, let's say, I'll pick a number, $8,000 per Medicaid patient per year to the healthcare organization to provide their care, and that person is signed up in 2 states, they're double dipping, and it's costing the American taxpayer $2,000 to $8,000 payments a year. That's cheating. So from one perspective, you're throwing these people off Medicaid. They weren't entitled to double dip in the first place. CMS also came out with a report, and by CMS I mean the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which is the federal agency that administers Medicare and Medicaid. CMS has also found that there are 1.6 million people who are on Medicaid today who are receiving both Medicaid and Obamacare.
Wow.
Well, what's Obamacare? I'll refresh everyone's memory. Medicaid is supposed to be for the poor and disabled, and Medicare is for the elderly, and a lot of other Americans have health insurance through their job. But there are a certain number of Americans who don't have health insurance because they're not old enough for Medicare, and they're not poor enough for Medicaid, and maybe their employer doesn't offer health insurance. So they can go to an exchange, we call them the Obamacare exchange, and buy health insurance. Now, President Obama and some of my colleagues, I wasn't here then, but when we passed Obamacare, the Obamacare exchanges, the Affordable Care Act, we were told that health insurance would be cheaper, and we were told it would be more accessible. It's been neither. We were also told if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. That wasn't true either. But the point is that we have a number of Americans who, if they don't qualify for Medicare, they don't qualify for Medicaid, they don't get insurance through their employer, they go to the Obamacare exchanges. But CMS found we've got 1.6 million people who are getting both health insurance through the Obamacare exchanges, which we subsidize, taxpayers do, and through Medicaid. That's called double dipping. It's illegal. And CBO can put out all the reports that they want to saying, oh, you're throwing all of these people off Medicaid. And technically they're right, but they're not eligible to be on Medicaid. I just gave you an example. 2.8 million people who are double dipping. It's illegal to double dip. It's immoral to double dip. It's unfair to taxpayers to double dip. All our bill does is say you can't double dip. Cheating is wrong.
White House Deputy Chief.
Is that throwing people off Medicaid? Technically, yes. But once again, as the other provisions in this bill also do.
Guys, and I want to tell you and remind you that, again, this is what they're doing, but what did the Democrats say? They say, oh, they're kicking people off Medicaid. They're kicking them off. They weren't supposed to be there in the first place. And some that are being kicked off, they're still getting the other side of it. So again, when we go back to what is the truth, what is Trump doing, what is the Trump administration doing, guys? They're giving Americans back their hard-earned money. The Justice Department sued New York City and Mayor Eric Adams on Thursday, alleging that its sanctuary policies are unconstitutional and actively interfere with federal immigration enforcement. They have just created, guys, this new DOJ announced a new formation of the strike force to pursue treason charges against all of Obama's people. So again, Trump is going after the bad people. I believe they have the right people in place. They 100% committed some form of treason, and they 100% committed it to try to get Trump impeached, which they did twice. But Trump is coming back because the American people saw through all of it. And now Trump is coming out and saying Trump tariff rebate checks. Guys, this is beautiful. If this is not just true justice coming forward, and now the new crackdown, we're hearing it from Stephen Miller on these sanctuary cities, is going to pull back that federal funding to do what? Give back more to the American people. This is what we voted for. Listen to this.
Good to see you. You know, you have all of this Honduran illegal arrested for child rape in Indiana. You have the feds arresting a twice deported illegal who killed 2 California teens in a high-speed drunk driving crash. You know, and ICE and Homeland Security, they keep doing their job, but the numbers are so overwhelming. This is what really concerns me.
The numbers are staggering, Sean. I mean, every day we find another story of an illegal alien let into the country by Joe Biden and the Democrats who's charged with rape, charged with homicide, charged with battery, charged with kidnapping. And, of course, the recent tragic case where an illegal alien freed by Joe Biden shot a Customs and Border Protection officer cold-blooded right in the face during an attempted robbery. You know, ICE, since Donald Trump has come into office, has already found and arrested almost 6,000 rapists and sex predators from our streets. 6,000, Sean. They've had to go and scour the country, house after house, neighborhood after neighborhood, into the country that can find crime after crime.
All right, you're the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. You're a great political analyst. You've been with Donald Trump from the very beginning. Put your political pundit hat on for a second here and explain to me the policies of the Democrats that continue to double down on the so-called rights of illegals, including known gang members and violent criminals. How is that politically wise for them? Or doubling down on sanctuary cities and states, or doubling down on being critical of President Trump's policies, or not even being willing to stand for the families of Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungary at the joint session speech. Tell me, politically, what is the strategy behind that, and how does that end for them? I don't think it ends well.
Well, let me just take the last example that you gave, Sean. I don't think I'll ever forget, for as long as I live, the scene of Senate and House Democrats planted in their seats, refusing to stand for the mom of Jocelyn Nungary, for the parents of Laken Riley, whose kids were brutally murdered by illegal aliens let into the country by Joe Biden. They couldn't even honor these grieving parents suffering from pain that none of us can imagine. The Democrat Party is completely radicalized. They're a party of extremists. They're committed to the rights of illegal aliens over the very lives of American citizens. So, of course, we know and we understand that Democrats want to flood the country with illegals because it gives them extra congressional seats. It changes apportionment. It expands their political power under birthright citizenship. All their kids become automatic citizens. So all of these things Democrats believe will increase their political power, grow the welfare state, grow dependency, strengthen, for example, the power of the teachers union, because millions of illegal aliens are getting free education in public schools. So we understand all of these things. But I think at a deeper level, at a much deeper level, Sean, they hate America. At least they hate America as you and I know it, the America that our founders gave us, and they want to end that America and create a new communist hellhole, and they believe open borders is the way to get there.
Guys, again, it is crazy, because I want to show you this. What he's talking about, Trump administration plans to spend $1.26 billion on an immigrant detention center in Texas to be the central hub for deportation operations. The Democrats, they're not putting America first. When you allow all these million illegals to come in, we all know it. That's not America first policies. There's something wrong up here, I think. You know the Democrats also too. Some of them, on the left, guys, they get so crazy. They think that they're dogs. They think that they're cats. They think you can be any gender in the world. And look what Trump just came out today and said. President Trump's latest executive order essentially brings back insane asylums. Are there some insane Democrats? 100%. Are there some insane Republicans? 100%. But it's again too, if you think that you're a dog and you want to live as a dog, I'm sorry, but something's wrong. On the other hand too, if you think that letting in 20 million illegal immigrants and not wanting to stand for an American citizen that lost their daughter to an illegal immigrant criminal that you let in and you were in support of, something's wrong too. And that's where I support everything that we're seeing now of what's coming. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you support this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much for your support, guys.
These policies are in place. You saw that ICE did round up 243 criminal illegals in a 3-day sweep of Denver alone. That's just Denver alone. You talked about, 6,000 child molesters. I mean, that number to me is astronomical. Why are people, why isn't this a 99 to 1% issue and the 1% being the absolute insane?
Well, so here's another one for you, Sean. On top of all of that, we now believe the true number of missing children that Joe Biden trafficked into the country, the Democrats trafficked into the country, is 450,000. Not 320, wow. 450.
Wow.
The Democrats have committed crimes for which they can never be forgiven, Sean. And Donald Trump is cleaning it up. Donald Trump is cleaning it up right now.
Let me say it again. Stephen, they have blood on their hands. They'll have more blood on their hands. Every murder, every rape, every violent crime. And if there's ever one of these known terrorists, we don't know where they are, that they let into this country unvetted, if there's an attack on our homeland, they'll have a lot more blood on their hands. I hope and pray I'm wrong.
They will, Sean.
I don't think I am. Stephen Miller, great to...
Guys, I'm telling you, when I think about that stuff, it gets me. But I want to always show you guys, for those that are joining in, guys, over what Trump said today. President Trump is now stating that due to the massive amount of money coming in thanks to the tariffs on countries, he plans to give it back to the United States citizens in the form of tariff rebate checks, guys. 100% Live Free. Thank you so much for the super chat. Show Live Free some love in the chat, as well as Robert Cash, who said, love and respect, we all deserve it. Guys, you can't get any better than that. Coming from the president, such huge, amazing news. But this right here, guys, I'm telling you, I am ready for accountability. I know you are. And this, they're going after Shifty Schiff. This is a big one, guys. And I'm ready for it. Because when we have this new task force that has been created, DOJ announced formation of strike force to pursue treason charges against soft coup plotters. You're going to enjoy this one. Check this out.
And let's kick it off with the hot topic of the hour. Senate Republicans are now calling on the Department of Justice to appoint a special counsel to investigate former President Barack Obama over newly classified and declassified information in the Russia collusion probe. Attorney General Pam Bondi is taking the lead, of course, and forming a strike force to investigate declassified Obama-era evidence after Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said Obama should be criminally investigated. President Obama's office responded to the allegation saying, quote, these bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. California Senator Adam Schiff, meanwhile, is the ranking member. And at the time, he was the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee in the House during the investigation. He's claiming that Gabbard's declassified intelligence is dishonest, claiming everything that he said was accurate. Watch this.
Senator, question for you. Should Obama and his team be held responsible in some way for pushing the Russia collusion narrative that was proven false to take down Trump?
Well, if you read the Mueller report, the Intelligence Community report, you know they documented Russia's efforts to help denigrate Hillary Clinton, which gave a boost to the Trump campaign. And I think what Gabbard and her staff are doing is dishonest and misstated. And I'll leave it with that.
Do you owe an apology at all, though, on what you were saying during this whole thing? This was proven false?
Been proven accurate.
Everything you've been saying is accurate about Russia collusion?
Of course, it's not accurate. He was all over the media saying that there was collusion in plain sight. The White House says now that Adam Schiff was one of the chief propagandists behind the Russia collusion hoax. He's now trying to desperately cover his tracks as this entire lie is being exposed to the world. Of course, we've all lived this. I've been reporting it for years. Here's a flashback. And Adam Schiff has still not been held to account for all of the lies that have come out of him and his office. I mean, let's not forget, for 2.5, 3 years, we heard Adam Schiff tell us that there was collusion between Donald Trump and the Russians in plain sight. Collusion in plain sight. That's why. Where is the collusion, Adam Schiff? Why do you continue to lie over and over again? Well, Brianna, now he's claiming that it's dishonest. Your reaction?
There needs to be accountability from the top down. What this classified report tells us is that Obama and Brennan created this entire narrative on a 6-word quote that came from an unreliable source that lacked credibility. We know that Obama was involved in the creation of the ICA, that the ICA was, received unusual directives from the president, from other political appointees, and we know that the intelligence community ignored warnings from career officials about all the red flags in the dossier. So what that all tells us is this was a weaponized justice system designed to take down a duly elected president. And as Adam Schiff reminded us, for 4 years, no one is above the law.
Let's
so maybe he, Obama, and Brennan can be held to the law for the first time.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Cheryl. We've been waiting for accountability for years.
Well, and also, too, the legal path forward in all of this. And Greg Jarrett, an attorney and our colleague here at Fox News, makes a really good point here. He said, because this is a criminal referral to the DOJ from Tulsi Gabbard, and what he says is, of course, Obama denies any wrongdoing, but he should thank Trump for winning the recent landmark Supreme Court decision that provides all presidents with immunity. Interesting take from Greg. He also says it's folly to predict at this stage what prosecutions, if any, the future may hold, but he said the stain of corruption is already embedded in the epitaph of Obama's presidency.
Yep, his legacy, because look, this is what Trump said, verbatim, guys. Trump on Obama and the Russian hoax, he has immunity. It probably helps him a lot. It doesn't help the people around him, though. Shifty Schiff, Hillary Clinton, Brennan, Clapper, Susan Rice, all of them, guys. This is big because, again, too, because of, it is what it is. He was president. He's probably got immunity, but let me know your thoughts. What should happen? Should he still be arrested? Regardless, his legacy is going to be tainted forever. Thomas Antronto, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. And thank you so much, John Propchi Jr., #1. I love it. Show John some love in the chat, guys, because this is big. We 100% want to see accountability, but when Trump himself says he has immunity and nothing's going to happen to him, it's the people around him, though. That's what's going to be a huge, huge win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
So if you look at, you were showing Adam Schiff and all of those comments. He said, well, I've seen all the documents. I've seen all the evidence. Collusion, collusion, collusion. Well, if you saw the documents then, can't Adam Schiff still see the documents now? He's a senator, Maria. I just think that the underlying story of who pushed and who knew what and who didn't is going to come out from this DOJ investigation. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not that difficult. I mean, you know, the Democrats try to make this as difficult as possible to follow, but it's not difficult at all. President Obama led a team, including John Brennan, including James Clapper, to push, embellished storylines about Russia and Trump through the federal government and through the major agencies, the law enforcement agencies, to make the world believe that there was some kind of collusion going on, which there wasn't. Adam Schiff extended the lie by telling people that it was in plain sight. John, when you've got the chairman of the Intelligence Committee saying that something is in plain sight, just his title alone makes people believe that he must know something that we don't because he's got access to information that we don't, because he's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. But that is precisely why he should have known better. He knew there was no evidence because he was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. And yet he went on the media, like with Chuck Todd on NBC and everywhere else, and said that there was collusion in plain sight. So now he needs to explain himself.
You're exactly right, Maria. Now we better understand why Americans don't trust government, why there are so many Americans that are quick to adopt these various conspiracy theories. My goodness, this is a prime example of the U.S. government lying to the American people, and that's horrible because anytime you diminish trust in the U.S. government, you are going to get into trouble over time.
Yeah.
Guys, and that's what's coming. And what I love, guys, just got to show you one more time. Such big news today. Trump tariff rebate checks. These things are real, guys. Trump said so much money's coming in, guys, because of the Trump tariff revenue. We got to give some money back to the American people, baby. We got to give them some checks. We're talking about some real money coming, guys. This is beautiful from our president himself. President Trump is now stating that due to the massive amount of money coming in thanks to tariffs on countries, he plans to give it back to the United States citizens in the form of tariff rebate checks. If you support this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is what we voted for. Promises made, promises kept. If you're not subscribed to our channel, guys, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family here at TrueLife News. Thank you so much for liking and sharing our videos. We are here to serve you. Surrey Angels Reborn Dolls, welcome to the family. Let's go. Show Surrey some love in the chat. Guys, we want to bust our butt, give you the best show every single day. It is to serve you. And want to thank you so much for everything that y'all are doing and supporting our channel. Want to give some special love to our members of the channel. We could not do it without you. We are here to serve you and give you the best show every day. Remember, whenever you give a super chat or you're a member, we donate this money live on stream to a local charity on the 22nd of every single month. Thus far, in the past 10 months, we have donated over $42,000, guys, with your support. Thank you so much to local charities. It is beautiful. Want to give some love to Fred Samuel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Barry Myers, Allison Van Harken, Denise Clark, OG of the channel. Show Denise some love in the chat. April Green, OG. Hold Me Tighter, welcome to the family. Live Free, Robert Cash, Thomas Antranto, Surrey Angels. Thank you so much, John Propchi Jr. Show him some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for liking our videos, sharing our videos. Remember, we've got big history coming up. This is a big show today, and we can't thank you enough. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.